Buddy. That was my fault. Completely my fault. I was trying to stop sharing and get back to Sarah here. And what I did was I pressed stop broadcasting. So let's go back. Hope
Oh, I got
chat is.
everybody's chat.
Oh, you got the chat. You got that's. Oh,
Yeah.
the chat's still present, and we're back live. So I don't know where we are. It looks like I did generate a new link. Um, and I can't tell. Yeah, so we're under the new link, everybody. So you're gonna have to pop over, even though the chat did carry over. But yeah, we're working here under new linkage. So I'll share that so all our friends can share it out and know where we are. We are here multitasking, and here, there you go, guys. And here is our Discord group here, and then we'll work towards our wrap up because I know you do have to go, and then in
Do
sort
I
of
have to?
in editing afterwards, I can snip on whatever we record here. So sorry, chat, and I hope you get back with us soon. But I'm pleased to hear that your chat popped up
Yeah.
and is
So far, so
working.
good.
So there's Screw. Okay, they're finding us. Whoops! I know, dude. I meant to stop sharing the. I meant to stop sharing what I was saying, and I pressed stop. So my bad. That hasn't happened since the
You're
get go.
fired.
But I know, and I totally broke the. I totally broke the damn moment there.
You
I'm
didn't.
sorry,
I
Sarah.
still feel it. Like I said,
So
it was very
yeah,
helpful. And
I'll
yeah, I do resonate with that, obviously.
good.
I like you could have showed me that video and then I could have, how or we, whatever parallels that we would have gone down, I would have seen you for you anyways. And I almost want to say it's the Jason window or Jason mirror, you know what I mean? Like when you want to like talk about like because you that's what this is essentially is that you're looking at somebody's life and they're putting it out there for you and the
Yeah,
hope is that you see like through your eyes, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
That's exactly it. And I certainly I don't I hope people and I was thinking there too about when I use words that I just use that's only words at work, and from my experience like God and spirit and all these other things I hope that doesn't lose people, you know what I mean, and that they're able to do what
Yeah.
you just said, is that they're able to, in whatever way it rings true to them, you
Well,
know.
I'm not religious and I understand it. So, but I also, everybody's different. So,
Well, I'm not religious either, so I can't.
well,
Don't like. I
in the
hate
context of
systems.
like, I don't, I'm borderline atheist,
Right.
honestly, and I hate to say it like that because
Well, no, we've
I do
had
believe in a higher
conversations before.
being or a thing or something out there that's, kind of
Right.
meddling with these puppet strings that we have going on here. I do believe in very well. We should go down these interesting conversations. I know you and Ricardo do all the time,
Yeah.
but like you said, maybe moderate. I'll
No,
go
I
in there
I
and I'll
think
moderate.
I think so. I think so. I mean, we're wanting to help you, just as others have helped us grow in this, right? And one of the great ways to do that is to just come on the Shaman and the Philosopher and join the conversations with us and start just letting everybody
Yeah,
present. One of the things I hope, or I try to sort of, if people aren't already there themselves, sort of help exhibit, right? Is so often people are saying the same damn thing, but they're using different words, and they
yeah,
get they get
exactly.
they get held up on those words. I used to, many years ago, and I
But
know
you
we got to
can't blame
wrap.
them because they were indoctrinated that way,
That's the
and it
thing.
does feel comfortable for them. A
That's
lot of
the
people are
thing.
simpletons, and that's fine.
It is fine. The impulse I first had when all of this started dawning on me, and this was early in what I call the shamanic calling, which is just a good way to say a lot of trauma, so spirit could bust you up. But one of the early sort of impulses I had as I started talking to people and sort of reassessing life from this higher better consciousness, right, was I started to say, I'm going to write a book called We're All on the Same Page. We just need to fucking realize we're on the same page. And it was that. It was from just letting myself disengage, like I described doing with sort of the material stuff, right? If I would disengage from my attachment to words that came out of people's mouths and whatever that was painting for me, and if I instead tried to understand from their perspective, what are they trying to say? Okay, 9 times out of 10, I ended with, they're saying what I'm saying. you know,
Yeah, I've seen you guys. Yeah, I've seen you say that to him a few times.
once you just take
The
a
only
minute
difference is
and
he's wearing a hat and you're not.
right, exactly, exactly. And that's I think that's important for all of us, and we find out that we've got so much more in common, and that we're communicating more than it's like a language barrier, but it's language itself that's the barrier. It's not because we speak different tongues, right? It's because your life and your experience was this, and so every time you hear a word or a song, you've got your own things that no one else will ever know, fully attached to it, right? And if I just
I,
can come at the conversation with that understanding, go ahead.
I wanted to pull up part of that you said. It's a resolution number, what they put the date is 2007, 037. And the title is Sacred Ceremonial Stone Landscapes Found in the Ancestral Territories of the United South and Eastern Tribes Incorporated, because they have to do that, member tribes.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to kind of skim through to the most important part for me when I was telling you guys about what the chambers could have been and what
Hang on,
the.
Sarah. I'm sorry. Daughter has a question. Hang on. But you can
That's okay.
continue. I just want to let you know why I'm looking off screen for a second.
That's okay. I think the most important part about the stone chambers is that the medicine man or shaman potato potato, was doing inside of these buildings was gaining further knowledge into their own psyche and then helping to disseminate that to the public. Um, Maybe because they felt like they knew best for people and that they were like the chosen one and only they could do it. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. Um, However, I'm going to read a little bit of this passage because it is a legal document where everything says like whereas, and it's like another paragraph where it's like whereas, kind of a thing. So I'm going to skip all the whereases
Okay.
and I'll talk about what the most important part is. And so within the ancestral territories of the Uset tribes, there exist sacred ceremonial stone landscapes, and their stone structures, which are particular cultural value to certain Uset members and tribes. For thousands of years before the immigration of Europeans, the medicine people of the Uset tribal ancestors used these sacred landscapes to sustain the people's resilience on Mother Earth and spiritual energies of balance and harmony. And during the colonial oppression of Southern and Eastern tribes, many cultural and ceremonial practices, including ceremonial use of stone and stone landscapes, meaning like these structures, were suppressed, and the properties which comprise these sacred landscapes are threatened by the encroachments of imminent development. And then this is the last part that I'll read. Whether these stone structures are massive or small structures, slacked stone rows, or effigies, these prayers in stone are often mistaken by archaeologists and state historic preservation offices as the effort of farmers clearing stones or for agricultural walls or building purposes. So when we talk about these stone chambers, which is what my investigations with tribal nations has concurred, is that these are ancient and these are not just root cellars. And if somebody was to come in later on and like the blueprint and build their own, that does not negate the thousands of years which Gunjiwamp is a primary example of a archaeological site in record, because we have to talk about the record because it matters. They are stating that this site is 8,000 years old. So when people ask me how old I think these are, and this is obviously, I'm going to aim this towards Rick because I kind of danced around that notion the other night on the round table, but I didn't want to be like that. I just want to be correct in what I'm saying, and I want to make sure that I have data to back it up. And that's why, Steve, I appreciate you so, so much for bringing that document, that little tiny 2-page document. It's not even, it's like a page and then like a half of a, like the second page. At the end of the day, it was on like the 5th paragraph is where I started reading from there. And it's just so prevalent to what the work that I'm doing, Renee's doing, especially when we're trying to amend and enforce the law 157-1 in our area, and then make it a federal law that people recognize. And then hopefully when we break through this gate, it'll probably just be like, once we're done, they're like, oh yeah, didn't you know? They're not going to go down memory lane and be like, remember when it was so hard to understand? They're just going to be like, whatever. And then it's going to pop into like, a culture like that. And then, it'll just be like, it never, like all this shit that we're going through, it never happened. Like it was like another parallel universe that just never existed. That's what my hope is.
Yeah,
I'd rather that.
That's a very sound hope. And yes, again, thank you, Steve. Steve is it's good infrastructure. That's what you say about somebody like Steve.
I was shocked when I read it because I had heard them from tribal council talk about it, but they were not willing to provide me with that paperwork so that I could say, hey, look, guys, over here on my end, like I'm going to be doing in my presentation. Yeah, well, you know what? How about this? How about this apple? How about you friggin' tell me why they're telling the world in a legal document that these are theirs, and that they're not root cellars. And like I said, well, we can call them root cellars all day long because we have the palimpsest and adaptive reuse. Oh, you're going to be, reusing something that's already there.
You can call that a root cellar. Here in my area, they build on native Indian mounds, whole towns actually, and they call them back pools or neighborhoods, backyard pools or whatever, the thing you put your trampoline on.
So irritating.
It's very irritating.
I hate to be like that dismissive and say it like that because I would like to have I'd like to be humble. Saying like, oh, they didn't know. But I'm sure they come across some sort of bones or something. My father's a carpenter, and I can tell you for days about how many times that the homeowner who was probably we have a lot of Hollywood people in our area. We have Woodstock right down the road, so they were always building McMansions, all over the place.
That's it.
And it was always the case where they said just pour cement on it and just shut the fuck up. Don't.
That's exactly it. Yep.
Oh.
And that's what, in fact, the Mobilla, look, that's how, when I traced all the metal up to where it was coming from, somebody at some point on a tractor pushed all this shit into the creek. I mean, that's just 100% evident, right? Love you too. Bye.
You want to go tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
All right. Okay, yes, sounds good. Love you. Let me know the time tomorrow. We have to go paint a parking space at school. She's a senior this year, and you can pay $20 and pick your own parking space up front and get permission to paint it.
Fancy.
I know. So yeah, we're gonna go paint some asphalt tomorrow.
I'm gonna go paint a tent tomorrow.
Paint a tent?
Yeah, we're both being creative. Yeah, I got to get this tent going. I got the paint. I just got to, set it up, and the kids are ready to. I might just take this project on by myself because I want to be creative, and do it on my own. There's funny, and it's like off topic, but there's a meme out there that says, I don't understand why nobody wants to cook with me. And then it shoots to that guy when he's like the wedding planner. And he's like, have you lost your mind? Because the guy put the vase like over a little bit, and then he like goes back and he changes it, and he's like, I can't do this.
That's you. Yeah. Okay.
It
used to be me too, and then I learned that I could just settle with it being messy and sit back and watch while here, daughters, you go do that. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Handle it from delegate.
One white sheet that I wanted to maybe dedicate to the little guys. They can always like put their touch on it.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
at
let them
the
do
event.
their.
Yeah, or if
Nice.
anybody wants to sign it or something like that.
Oh, that'd
An
be
adult,
awesome.
whatever. I was here. We do have I can't get it,
Well,
but
Sarah
we have
and I
notebooks.
definitely want to hear about the guy heading up from Georgia, and if he has an
Yes,
empty seat in the back of the
I'm
truck.
so excited.
That would definitely make things feasible, for sure. Listen, before we get out of here, you want to try your mic? You want to unplug it and see if your computer mic
Sure.
works? Chat, you quit showing up for me. You started showing up for her, and I had to hand my phone away. So let me get back to you guys real quick. Amy made it home safe. Sarah, put your seatbelt on. Oh, talking to Amy. All right, are you there? No, it's not coming through. You can plug back in. Yeah. I was just curious, and I wanted you to have the opportunity to sort of have that knowledge before you went forward with Nikki. I think holding it, right to your mouth once we.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me do anything because we're recording.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. I think it's okay. I really do. I just wanted to make sure we tried that before we wrapped. But as long as you're, sitting here doing what I got to do, which is just, eat the mic.
Num,
I think,
num.
right. I mean, that's it. Nobody else is using it. I mean, what is it? What does it matter? I think it does. I think the sound works fine for you to carry forward with the Nikki thing. That's what I would say anyway. And
Cool.
then that being said, anytime moving forward, Sarah, that you want to pop in, you don't have to stick around for the whole, 2 hours if you don't want to. Obviously, we've even started to cut them in about an hour and a half. But anytime you want to hop on with either Ricardo or I, and I know you can talk to Sarah and Jacqueline, they're the same. But anytime you want
Right.
to do what you mentioned earlier, which is just hop on, and let's talk through some of these rabbit holes from different perspectives. Let's certainly do it.
Yeah,
because
Tuesdays and Saturdays are usually like my best days because I'm off
Great.
on those days, and then I don't have to really worry about the time stamp, for leaving for work. But I am starting my vacation tomorrow.
Okay.
My first vacation in a long time. So, but I can't even call it that
Okay.
because it was just like a mental, like a few days before the event and then a few days after to recoup. If I had to.
Those days after will be important, because even if everything
that.
goes,
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that.
even if everything goes ideally, right? And sometimes, especially if it goes ideally, having the days after to not only let yourself come down, ideal experiences, but also
I just want to go to the beach.
Right.
I just want to go to the beach like one day. I haven't been. I was like every day I say I'm going to go to the beach today, and I'm a weirdo because I like to get there super early before the seniors even get there, and because I'm a cheat, so I get like a good spot up where like there's this tree line right next to this, it's like literally like right next to your car, and then you can get like the first like sand spot too.
Yeah.
So it's like you get a nice shady spot, and then you get the sand spot, and
You've got a beach
every
near
freaking
you?
day I want to go, it's raining.
What beach?
Oh, I used to. It's way out of my way, but now. But I used to go to two when I was younger. So Taconic, and then Wilcox. These are just they're lakes.
That's the Atlantic.
Really.
Oh
No,
they're
my
lakes.
mom is a big Cape Cod fan. So when I was younger, we used to go to Cape Cod a lot.
Got it.
But the ocean is a bit of a drive for me because I live like in the middle of New York and in a little bit. So we're like I'm an hour north of the city.
I'm 3 hours from coastline. I'm the same, so I'm always freshwater as well. But
yeah, I think it's about the same for me.
Get some beach time. On the vacation for sure. You need it. you definitely need it. Well, this I think went very well. I think we got the sound issue in a very comfortable place. and everything looks good. Everything sounds good. If your husband will permit me saying, you look great. I like the black, and your hair is looking wonderful. And of course, your smile is just radiating
You.
as always. And I think you're going to do great. I know you talk about being nervous with this whole presentation thing way back on your first or second interview, however far back in ancient time that was. But, you're taking to it
It's like
just
2 months now.
right.
I think
It,
it's
it
been almost 3. Yeah.
it's crazy how quick you go and how well and quick you adapt. I always bring up the story of the
Well, I had
girls
a
that
studio. I made my own studio when I was younger, and I was a singer way back when.
there you go.
I just, I never thought I'd say this because music, some people, I've met people that are like, music does nothing for me. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, but music, like singing in general was like my everything, and it was, I was always doing like underground recordings and stuff. Like, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I eventually got money, and then I made my own studio in a closet at my own apartment, and I loved it. And then I was obviously by myself, but
Full
yeah, I'm kind
circle.
of used to those. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it great when you get to that point in life when you're like, finally, I was wondering why I had all those disparate fucking experiences where it's like, I'm good at this, but I'll never use it. I'm going to get good at it, but I'll never use it. And then finally you get here and you go, oh, that's what that little experience was for. I'm going to find myself
Well,
with a
after being
microphone in front of
suppressed
me again.
from certain people, I'm not going to say who, from government institutions, this is the best option for me because it's they can't touch it here, they can't delete it, they can't stop me
Right.
from talking about what I want to talk about.
Right.
So that's why.
Independent media, man. I mean, media was always supposed to be independent, but we do know that we've lived in a world where that changed drastically.
Right.
So now, it's back over here to the grassroots, man. To those of us that are just out here because we've got something we think everybody should know.
Yeah, I don't think the news has anything nice to say, anyways. That's why I love the Sweet Sunday news. I look
Right.
forward to it, and even if it wasn't like I wasn't available, at least I can go back to it. That's the best part.
You're
not
a
to be
natural
relied.
at this as we're wrapping up with your perfect segue into go check out Sarah and Jacqueline Universe Unveiled for their Sweet Sunday News weekly at 1:15 Eastern, 12:15 Central Standard Time. Come find us at the Institute of Natural Philosophy if you too are an independent researcher, actor, artist, activist, communicator, and you believe that you have information just like Sarah, just like myself, just like a lot of the people here in this chat, and you have something that's important to the whole. Well, come talk to us because that's what we're all about. That's what we do. And we're so happy to have welcomed Sarah into that. But I'm also just personally happy to have had you here, to know you, and
Thank you.
to be involved. It's like I told everybody, when I saw her email, guys, it's an old joke, but I used to have to read through a lot of resumes back when I did have jobs in the Matrix, And for a while, I was hiring and firing was, kind of my good thing. I hated the fire, and I could never do that successfully. I'm glad I was still drinking back then because that's the only way I could deal with having to fire people. I hated it. It's like, your whole life, man. But the hiring I enjoyed and I got really good at it. And you could just, you found your quick ways to read people, your shortcuts when you had to do it all the time. And so you learned how to hone in on the little things, And so I'm always telling our audience, as soon as Ricardo's like, here's your application to the Institute, I came back to him in like 2 minutes. I was like, look at her email. I was like, bring her in. That's the way I would filter through, things very quickly. Is just
I almost
find the
didn't
things that are
apply for it. I almost was like, they're probably not going to like me. I have nothing to offer them. So
no, you have precisely, precisely it, and that's it's.
Well, you guys are amazing.
It's amazing
business
people.
aside, I couldn't have asked for a better group of people that
That's
I
it.
want. It's not even about sharing, really, too. It's just like collaborating, and I just love it. You guys are amazing.
It's all about sharing and collaborating, and was started with basically the same thing that you and I'm sure are familiar with working with. which is a certainty when all the world was like, no, that you can't, that's not real, you know what I mean? And there was a vision, and it's like, we can get there. And then
Mhm.
all of the right people just sort of seem to gravitate and get in position before it's even needed, officers on
Right.
boards and all these things. And you look and you get in there and you go, holy shit, this is like the infrastructure of something that has been up and running successfully for a very long time, right? It's quite an amazing little corner of the world that Ricardo and some other very, very dedicated people have had up and running, and that I now myself, for the past year, basically, give or take, have been very happy to be a part of, because it is. I hope everybody sees, through all of this, that that's what it is a place for people like you, a place for people like me, who have found out there with all the gatekeepers, ill reception. And we want a place where not only, people with information that's important to the whole, but just people that can be good people together and, are
Right.
looking for community.
Jacqueline always said that it was a safe place and a supportive, and I 100%, have seen, that. I saw it when you guys were just interacting on your own podcast, how you guys were treating each other, and that's, that matters. Like you said, you want to look through somebody's email. I was doing, my research
Right,
by
right,
watching you guys. You had already given me a whole bunch of data to look at,
right.
all over here. So I was very happy to be a part. I mean, I still am. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future.
That's the thing. We're all very excited for that future, and we're all marching towards it resolutely, one day at a time. And right now, we're very excited for your week and what you've got coming up. And we can't wait to hear if there's a dude from Georgia with a truck with an empty seat. We can't wait to then. You're actually. We mentioned UU Crew. You're going to be on there, I think, at some point shortly after, I believe, your conference. We're
Yeah,
going to do a
Sarah
UU
just
Crew
reached out
session.
on Discord, and I said yes. I want
Yeah,
to.
so we'll all do a sit down then.
Sweet.
And seriously, I'll just leave it open to you. We know how to communicate. Anytime you want to pop on and like, hey, are y'all doing a shaman and philosopher? If you see us on and you're like, hey, can I come on and let's talk about some rabbit hole stuff? Then please feel free.
Awesome.
All right, everybody.
All
Sarah
right,
Brailey.
Jason. Thanks,
I
guys.
don't have the stuff ready to pull up for the conference, but we did a
That's
good
all right.
advert for it yesterday, August 8th. If you're in the area, go.
You guys
If
do
you
it all the
go,
time. I can't thank you enough. That's amazing.
it's fucking do unto others, Sarah. I mean, if nothing else, right? As you
And
would
you're
have.
blessed, and you're blessed. Everybody blessed.
That's exactly it,
Yeah.
and that's what I saw in the operational staff. That's what I saw in Ricardo. When you walk around like that, you want to find other people, and you've learned from experience. You got to really read people to make sure. But if they're walking around with that, then that's kind of where you want to hang out. That's the people you want to hang out with, because rising tide, all of the good things that come from having a community, yeah. It's
Which I
just
didn't have growing up. So this is really. It's not like I have to get used to it. I hate to say it like that, but
I'm
and
a
it's not
fucking
even a trust
loner.
issue. But it's just like, am I really around like my tribe? Like Tammy says to me all the time. She's like, "You're my tribe,"
Yep.
and I'm like, "Girl, I just
It's
love
so
you."
true. It's so
I call her
true.
sister mama because she is older than me, and I'm not trying to age her or anything. But we had one day we had a heart to heart, and like I could be your mama, and I was like, "Yeah, but you're my sister," and then that's where sister mama came into
Yep. And
the
I think
title.
you're both roughly on like the same either side of me in age. I think like she's about as many years older as you are
Yeah, you're
younger.
7 years
Like
older than me. I'm 40.
right. Right. So 40, I remember 40. I called it
But
40
Tammy
going on
doesn't look
15.
her age. I just had to point that out.
No, not at all. And she just had a birthday, didn't she? I thought I remember seeing
Better
that.
not have I missed it. Dang it.
I
Happy
think
birthday, Tammy.
right.
Belated. And what a good friend I am.
Well, you have a lot going on.
Our
That's
first year.
for sure. I don't make a
I'm
big
not
deal
alone
of
though. I
birthdays.
hate when everybody says that. I did a lot, but a lot of people like Tammy and Nancy. Shout out to Nancy and Renee
Yeah.
and then everybody else who's a speaker. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without them, obviously, right? I'm going to be
Yes.
just a one-man band. Still entertaining, but
Right.
it's not the point. The point was to create like how the institute's a safe place for people to talk about their work. And
Yep.
Jen's been doing this for a very long time. Glenn's been doing this for a very long time, and Ra and Renee are kind of like neck and neck in their age. With how long they've been doing this, like 20 years.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because like Tammy and I have been doing this about 5 years. I lived in the Hudson Valley my whole life, so I just want a disclaimer. It's like I've seen these sites, I knew they were there. I just didn't really start like going down like the why, aspects of it, and I didn't have time. So it now is the time for me to really like flip it inside out and find out what the mechanics are of it.
Right. Absolutely, Jacob. I'm sorry, Jacob is eating pillows. You did hit
How
a
dare
good point.
you not feed
I
your dog?
know, dude. Stop. Really, just he's staring at me. Now he knows I'm talking about him. Stop with the pillows, man.
Jacob, oh.
You mentioned a really good point. I thought about tribe because I too. I mean, for my whole life it seems, but certainly for the better part of these last 8 years, outside of when with my daughters, like lone wolf type mentality, right? Because that was what was necessary for many of the experiences. But now, as you say, to find people that resonate, not just in the whole, oh, I'm an independent researcher, but all the other various facets, that are important.
Right, agree to disagree and to have that conversation in a healthy context. So,
Yep.
health for
Yep.
Kenia.
Yep. That was one of the first things I liked about Ricardo, as soon as we had that open talk.
What a healthy role model, though, for the rest of the little guys that are watching. Well, not little, like teenagers or whatever, but.
Right. Yeah, to find people that you outwardly would be like, hey, in most places in the world, you'd go, hey, those two disagree. But no, to be able to go, I mean, maybe, but we can sort of read past that and go, maybe we agree. Let's find out, it's all important. The tribe, the all of it. And it's nice to have it coming late in life. I think for many of us, that says, it's like any pleasure delay system, I guess. You had a lot of preparation to do.
They're going down again.
Jacob's over here; he's chewing on the knob.
I think that's your cue to go.
Like it's time to go for a walk.
Come on, Dad.
Dude. We've got and you've got to get to work, and all of the things that are getting
my husband's
started.
waiting patiently for dinner.
Go. I'll wrap with this. As sort of a forward thinker and trying to always sort of see ahead. I really like the philosophy I was told in business once, and it's like this: when you're on something, instead of trying to fill positions and look out there judging, you just find those people that have the core qualities you want on your bus. You don't worry about what seat to assign them to. You just get on the bus and you move.
Yeah.
Right? And it's very much sort of that feeling that radiates not only with all the members, but with you as well. And we welcome you. I welcome you, and I'm very, very proud to know you. And I look forward to just like I look forward to everyone involved with this, with the growth and what all it is that we're going to hopefully bring to this world as the sunlight begins to take me away from everybody. Receding. I'm going the place with the skulls now.
Don't go to the light.
It happens every day this time, and I have to go.
You guys were talking about how you had to go away from the light, right?
Right. That's it. When he died, yeah, exactly. Turn away from the light. Like, I want to see what's back there. I don't trust where everybody else goes, you know. Everybody's going that way. I'm going to go recon this direction first. I'll be in the light with my wand. It's what you got to do. You got to rescind into the light towards the skulls and the swords. That doesn't work for any sort of positive. I've got too many weapons and things back here for me to try to spin that positively. I'm going to go over here and get my weapons.
Mine are on the porch. I have all my lithic tools, my paleolithic tools out there that I rescued off the side of the road before anybody comes at me for being a looter. I'm not a looter. I'm far from it.
when I first, we'll go with this. When I first got into this and I was like collecting rocks and I had them in my truck, and listen, I get in some wild scenarios. We'll talk more
My car is
about
full.
things that happened in my life. But I had this dude approaching me with a gun one time, and I don't carry weapons, right? But I did have this one of my first hammer stones that I'd found. And this is just how crazy my brain is. As this dude, he'd fired his gun off out the side window, right? So out of his car as he pulled up. So I knew there was a gun. And as he's walking over to my driver's side, this is what goes through my brain is I go and grab the rock, and while I'm grabbing the rock, my brain goes, you're going to use something as a weapon that hasn't been used as a weapon in a couple of thousand years. That's fucking awesome. You know?
Right?
That was, but I didn't have to use it as a
Face,
weapon.
meat,
and-
rock.
Yeah.
Rock, meat, face.
It didn't have to go there. I don't want to. I should wrap that up with it. It ended very quickly. He came to the window, and I
Well,
got
that's
him.
good to
and-
know because that would have been a waste of ballistic.
I know. I didn't have to use it. He put his hand up
Cool.
and he caught it, and I wasn't going to sling it until I saw his gun come in. But then I wrestled him to the ground and I screamed at him. I got him on the ground. I got him on the ground, and well, he put all his weight onto me, and it buckled my knee, and so I fell on the ground.
You have to back up. I know we're wrapping here. You got to back up just a little bit and explain to the rest of us about why the freak this even happened. How
Well,
did this guy get
it's
to
a long
that boiling
story
point?
involving my daughters and my ex.
Oh, so
and
you already
somebody
knew this
she
guy.
was seeing that had weapons issues.
Oh,
He's
you
in
made it
jail
seem like he
now
was a stranger.
for weapons possession. No, I mean at that point I didn't really know him, you know. And now he's in
who he
jail.
was.
Not for this, but to wrap it. So he puts his weight on me and we're down on the ground. And I get him down, you know, and he's not going to be able to hurt me. I'm down. And so I get him. And I start yelling at him in his face. I won't say his name, but I scream his name. I go, we're human beings, dude. We're fucking human beings. You know, like we're not going to.
Snap out of it.
He did. Listen, Sarah, I swear his fucking software, it like you could see it. It like farted. His face like a damn hardware had been wiped for a second. He just blanked and his whole body went limp. And he stopped, and for 3-4 seconds, he couldn't say anything. But then I released him, right? And he slowly got up. I kind of helped him up, and he gave me like that football pat on the sort of rear. And he looked at me, and all he could say was, we're gonna be all right, Jason. And he turned and walked away.
Yeah, I almost killed you there.
Right.
But we're going to be all right.
Well, I got through to him. I got through to his ass, you know?
Yeah, but we were this close from what you just said there. No more Jason.
I've been closer. I'll tell you that story another time, because it involves some fantastic elements that I don't talk about in public a lot. But I'll be happy to tell you about it when we're hanging out sometime. I've had one particularly try to kill me. I mean, he thought he was emptying his gun in me, and I don't know how it didn't go in me. Fucked up the tree behind me. And, you know, I just dove. Your body just takes you, you know, if you've never been shot, your body, you know. I can laugh
So
about
it's
it
nice
now.
to see that you're in a better environment these days.
Yeah, much. But, you know, there's lessons to be learned. And when one gives oneself over to the crafting of spirit or God or creator or it or all or whatever word you like to use, Chuck, you know, some days when I'm mad, you know. When you give yourself over to that process, it's pretty crazy, the places you can be led. But it all adds up to here now and ready for now. And, I'm not scared of your guns. I guess that can be publicly known now. Look, when you're going to talk with people who are both mafia, Masons, and, you know, wear badges, right? You find yourself at tables with guns pointed at you, you know, just to see how you'll, you know, react. Are you trustworthy? Can this conversation proceed? You know, so it's a known quantity. We got to wrap, guys. Sarah, I'm going to see you on one of these shows very soon. Get to work, get to your husband, and you did great. You're natural.
Thank you. Appreciate
guys,
it.
Thank you for
Everybody
joining
else,
us.
thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for being patient.
We got some comments earlier. You were talking about the picnic benches. Love that. So Amy's finally home. She's going back in town. She's not driving. gives a whole different ambiance. It does, doesn't it? I loved when she
Yeah,
was describing that
yeah.
era. And Sarah says you're a fantastic fit girl. Oh, and I'm a singer too, says Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, so both
Maybe that's
Sarahs
why
have
we all
got
get
that going on.
along. You know, like we just like subconsciously, you just
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. That's what you have to do it. Yeah, and I'm tight. You know, Sarah and Jacqueline and all them. They really did fulfill, like you say, that tribe role, but family role. When I was first kind of started getting public and I'm getting yanked to conferences and stuff, well, I had them, on my phone, right? My kids aren't old enough to care. So when I'm running through the airport or meeting somebody famous, I got to like grab them on the phone, and hey, I got to stay cool for everybody here, but guess what I just did. Um,
Yeah.
so I know them, and I've tried to make sure they know me, and
They're like the
yeah.
perfect pair. You couldn't put anybody else in either one of their shoes because
No,
I can't see it. Just like with
nope.
you and Ricardo, like I just can't see anybody else doing what you guys are doing. Obviously we have Vince and Rick. They're amazing,
Yeah.
and individually they're like or couples.
Like I always tell Ricardo, I love it when a plan comes together, especially when I didn't have anything to do with it. And that's kind of our guiding principle and philosophy. And we're just going to keep rocking with that because so far the results are pretty outstanding, as exampled by our guest today on Finding Things Within and Without, Miss Sarah Brailey, who has to get about her evening, get off to the real
Yeah.
world, and get ready for a vacation to promote her upcoming free conference set in stone in Carmel, New York, this coming weekend. Sarah, we thank you very much for coming to see us. We're glad we
It's been
got
a
everything
pleasure.
sorted
Thank you.
out, and we look forward to seeing you on the next occasion soon.
All right, take care. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Remember, now that we're saying goodbye officially, think long, think wrong. And as Sarah knows, our best future requires the truth of our past. Good evening, y'all.
Toodles.